dig it, and welcome to the Decade Recap. Today I will be walking you through the major events of the 2000s, including both the happy and the sad. Let's get started. In recent times, America has been assisting Israel in defending their land during the constant conflict occurring in the area. Both this and the U.S. involvement in the Persian Gulf War have motivated a radical Islamic terrorist group known as the Al-Qaeda, led by the Saudi Arabian fugitive Osama bin Laden, to retaliate. U.S. involvement in Israel was also discussed 3 years before by the Al-Qaeda fatwa, which states, "The aim is also to serve the Jews' petty state and divert attention from its occupation of Jerusalem and the murder of Muslims there." The best proof of this is their eagerness to destroy Iraq, the strongest neighboring Arab state, and their endeavor to fragment all of the states of the region, such as Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and Sudan, into papers stateless, and through their disunion and weakness to guarantee Israel's survival and the continuation of the brutal crusade occupation of the peninsula. This ultimately led to 19 Al-Qaeda members to board the planes with unnoticed box cutters and to take over a total of 4 passenger planes, with the planes to destroy the Twin Towers at the World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and most likely the White House. The North Tower was the first to get hit by a Boeing 747 loaded with 51 passengers, 20,000 gallons of jet fuel, and 5 hijackers. The second plane hit the South Tower at about 20 minutes after, causing another massive explosion. Then, the third plane hit. Another plane hijacked by terrorists crashed into the west side of the Pentagon, causing a structural collapse to a huge portion of the building. As firefighters and police officers were entering all 3 of the buildings to rescue as many people as possible, the South Tower suffered such severe damage to its structure it collapsed entirely. However, United Flight 93, which could have caused an equally massive damage to the White House as many assume it was headed, did not reach its intended mark. Information from phone calls and text messages from civilians aboard the plane suggests that the innocent passengers overtook the hijackers and were able to keep them from flying to D.C. However, it appears as if they could not again retain control of the plane and crashed into a rural field in western Pennsylvania. In total, 2,996 people died in the attacks, including the 19 Al-Qaeda hijackers. We pray for the lives and the families of those killed in the malicious attacks, and that as a country we can be unified in our fight against terrorism and for peace across the globe. In other news, 300, a movie about the Persian War, has released to theaters grossing nearly $500,000 internationally. It stars Gerard Butler and is directed by Zack Snyder. Here's a clip from the movie.
Choose your next words carefully, Your Highness. Maybe your last. You can't do this! This is blasphemy!
No, this is Sparta!
Oh, God!
Oh, are you okay, Joe? You okay?
I thought we were doing a stunt double.
You're fine.
I have a bruise.
You're fine.
This...
Wow, really hope that guy's okay. Now to Champ with sports. Thanks, Ken. In 2001, the Baltimore Ravens won their franchise's first Super Bowl, defeating the New York Giants 34-7. Ravens quarterback Trent Dilfer passed for 1 touchdown, with the other scores coming from a kickoff return, rush, and an interception. All field goals were put through the uprights by Matt Stover. Linebacker Ray Lewis, wearing number 52, won the MVP award with his 3 tackles and 2 passes defense. Back to you, Ken. Thanks, Champ. And now, a word from our sponsor, Reese's Puffs.
Reese's. What's that pear, that pecs, that punch? The unique taste, so creamy with a crunch. PB and C is what I'm thinking of, and it only could be found in my Reese's Puffs. Peanut butter chocolate, great when separate, but when they combine, they make the morning time epic. Morning time epic. Morning time epic. R-double-E-S-E-S.
It's the perfect combination of peanut butter and chocolatey flavor. Reese's Puff Cereal, part of a complete breakfast.
P to the U, double Reese's.
Those Reese's Puffs sure are delicious. Now on to other news. Earlier, on April 16th of 2007, a 23-year-old Virginia Tech student, Seung-Hui Cho, killed 32 and wounded 17 students, and later took his own life using 2 pistols. Cho had previously been diagnosed with mental illness. who only 1 month later purchased a Walter P-22 and a 9mm Glock. This shooting has been the most deadly school shooting on U.S. soil since the University of Texas shooting. Since the shooting has occurred, criticism about the United States gun control has spread rapidly. The large issue has been the fact that Cho was able to purchase weapons, even being diagnosed with mental health issues. This has been a sad day for America. Ever since the country's founding in 1776, the United States has seen 43 white presidents. It wasn't until January 20th, 2009 that this changed. This was the day that Barack Obama, the first African-American president, was sworn in. This is most likely one of the biggest cultural events of significance in our nation's history. Obama, a Democrat, nearly doubled his Republican opposition, John McCain's electoral votes. This is a huge event for African Americans across the country.
At this defining moment in our history, the question's not, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? We all know the answer to that. The real question is, will our country be better off 4 years from now? How will we lift our economy and restore America's place in the world? Here's what I'll do as president. To deal with our current emergency, I'll launch a rescue plan for the middle class that begins with a tax cut for 95% of working Americans. If you have a job, pay taxes, and make less than $200,000 a year, you'll get a tax cut. I'll end the tax breaks for companies that ship our jobs overseas and give them to companies that create jobs here in America. And I'll make low-cost loans available to small businesses. To build our economy for the future, I'll focus on our urgent national priorities, reducing the cost of health care, breaking our dependence on foreign oil, and making sure that every child gets the education they need to compete. How will I pay for these priorities? First, we've got to stop spending $10 billion a month in Iraq while they run up a surplus. I'll end this war responsibly so we can invest here at home. We'll monitor the Wall Street rescue plan carefully, making sure taxpayers are protected and CEOs don't game the system. I'll let the temporary Bush tax cuts for the wealthiest 2% expire and close the corporate tax loopholes the lobbyists put in. I'll order a top-to-bottom audit of government spending and eliminate programs that don't work. We face real challenges, and they won't be easy to solve. But we can do it if we end the mindless partisanship, the divisiveness, curb special interest power, and restore our sense of common purpose. I'm Barack Obama. I approve this message and ask for your vote, because if we stand together, we can meet our challenges and ensure that there are better days ahead.
And now, for the conclusion of the 2000s decade recap, my affiliate, Woodrow, but don't have a paddle. Woodrow.
On May 2nd of 2011, at 1 p.m., the tyrannical leader of al-Qaeda, Osama bin Laden, was eliminated by the United States Special Forces in his compound in Pakistan. Osama bin Laden had been running al-Qaeda for nearly a decade and facilitated the attacks of 9/11. Bin Laden was eliminated by SEAL Team 6 of the United States Navy, and his body was later dumped into the Atlantic Ocean. The CIA, Joint Special Command Operations, and President Barack Obama fabricated Operation Neptune Spear, the attack on bin Laden's compound that sent 2 Black Hawk helicopters during the night to infiltrate the compound, one of which crashed and had to be destroyed. Immediately following the crash, the 79 operatives and War Dog entered the compound, whereby they successfully eliminated bin Laden, and 5 others were killed, including bin Laden's brother.
Going room to room, very methodical, engaging targets, and completing the mission. But it's a really intense, personal, up close and personal type of operation.
This is a great day for America, and a great day for the world.
And that concludes our 2000s decade wrap-up. Thank you for joining us. On behalf of all of the news team, I'm Ken Udigan, signing off.
And go.
I almost attacked. And that, as a country, your hand's in the way.
Sam, stop laughing.
The shooting has been the most deadliest. Thanks, champ. And now, a word from our sponsor.
Reese.
Oh, am I supposed to go?